Hi, everybody, and welcome to the New Moon in Sagittarius video. I hope you're all doing well. Here we are as December is winding down, and we're about to enter a new calendar year. So, this is our last new moon of the calendar year, and I'm going to be speaking to you about the 2 weeks from this new moon in Sagittarius until the full moon in Cancer on the 3rd. So, there's a lot that is coming up with this lunar cycle. And given that it's in the sign of Sagittarius, we're thinking a lot about our vision and the direction that we're taking, where we're heading, what is our quest, what is our current quest. And we have been in a really unclear and stagnant place, energetically speaking, and the clarity started to emerge with that last lunar cycle. Some truths were likely revealed to you about yourself and also about those that are around you. And I think that insight, that wisdom that came with that last lunar cycle will be very helpful in terms of imagining a new vision. And it really aligns nicely with our calendar year because this is a time people often set intentions for the new year. But it doesn't always match the energies. However, in this case, it does. Where Venus is joining the Sun and Moon in Sagittarius, and we're mainly focused on our values, our relationships, and our relationship to all sorts of things, not just people. And so when you're thinking about or dreaming up the vision for the new year for yourself, think about what you hold close, what you value and hold close to your heart, and how does that align with the actions you've been taking? Sagittarius asks, where do you want to expand? What truths are you ready to embrace? And what beliefs are guiding you forward? But this tension between the squares that this new moon makes to Neptune and Saturn wants us to confront our limitations, our fears, and really face up to our responsibilities. This square is really urging us to distinguish between inspiration and illusion, imagination and structure. Your visions can expand, but only when it's rooted in structure, in responsibility, in commitment, in discipline, in effort, and hard work. So you want to also remember that this lunation is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is currently squaring Chiron in Aries, and there's a sense of tension here. There's also the wound of identity that comes into the mix here, feeling tender around how we're perceived or how we perceive ourselves impacts the vision that we are trying to shape or form. So there's some wounds here that are perhaps need to be tended to or even just acknowledged in terms of limiting us. So it's like you see this vision for yourself and what you want to see happen, and somehow you feel like you're not deserving of it, or you're not ever, it's never going to happen for you. So you want to be mindful with this lunar cycle to see what comes up that feels tender around possibility, because so much of that full moon in Cancer that will come up at the very first week of January will be revelations around the emotional healing that we need to do in order to get past our own selves, past our own self-imposed obstacles when it comes to wanting to see things happen in our life. Of course, this doesn't negate the fact that there are actually very real, tangible obstacles out there that we're up against every day, given the systems that we live in. However, my focus here right now is on our own self-imposed limitations, on our own ability to perceive something radically new for ourselves in our life, and even for the world, for the collective, for the people that we love. And Sagittarius is an energy that is always on a quest. And if its quest is coupled with reality checks, truths, and an acknowledgement of where the obstacles are, it will find a way around those things. It will find a way through those obstacles. So the more clear you are on everything, put all the cards on the table, lay everything out, the more potential for things to unfold favorably in terms of what you vision in your life. I think one of the challenges of this particular moment astrologically is to balance feeling absolutely disillusioned and stuck and confused, feeling like we're in a fog about which direction to take, what actions to take, what to choose, where to go, what to do. And then the burnout and the exhaustion from what is the closing of a very long cycle, because this year, this coming year, is all about the closing of certain cycles and the beginning of new ones. And so we may be feeling the weight of the burnout of everything we've gone through over the last 7 years. And so this moment is challenging because the Sagittarius moon is asking for hope. It's asking for vision. And you might say, well, Shadi, what in the actual F? Because I can't see that. I don't even know what to do right now. Do I quit my job? Do I leave this relationship? What do I do? And all this new moon asks you to do is to just plant a tiny seed of possibility about something that you value, that you desire. Maybe it is a more nurturing relationship. Maybe it is to find love. Maybe it is to pursue the dream of being a writer, or whatever it is. You just want to allow this moon to hear, to listen to you, utter something, a tiny something that could grow into something much bigger. You don't want to think about the outcome though. You want to just wholeheartedly put the intention in about something that is of value to you. And that is the magic of this moon. That is the power of this moon as it closes our calendar year and carries over into a new one for us. So, moving into 2 days after this new moon, we have a very powerful cosmic moment, which is the solstice. So, in the northern hemisphere, that's the winter solstice. In ancient Iranian tradition, this is the birth of the sun. After this day onwards, the days become longer. So, really, it's about seeing hope amidst the despair. It's about seeing the light through the shadows. It's a very significant moment culturally for me, traditionally for me. It's, thousands of years old tradition connected to the sun. And for us, this is when the sun, in the zodiac, it's when the sun enters Capricorn, and we're giving shape to the vision that we set out with the Sagittarius lunar cycle. We're giving structure. We're being gifted resilience, tenacity, ambition to chase after what it is that we want to see happen or to unfold or to come to fruition. So it's really kind of beautiful. After that new moon in Sagittarius, we kind of flow into the solstice, and these two sort of powerful moments in the month being so close together at the very end of our calendar year, to me, feels very symbolic and significant. We're ending our calendar year on a very powerful note. And around this time, Venus is once again highlighted as it squares both Saturn and Neptune. So our finances, relationships to money, relationships to worth, whether that's self-worth or whether it is tangible gain, it's lighting the fire under our butts to address some of these challenges in those realms of life and bring about the change that's necessary. So Venus is feeling very fiery around this time, and we want to make the most of it. Perhaps there's certain actions where we've been holding off on, and Venus is like ready. ready to do the thing. So if you're feeling like, moving into the new year, it's time to cut that person out of your life, or if it's time to bring something up that you have been holding back on, this is that moment with that new moon, as well as the solstice, and how Venus plays out in this part of December to give you the courage to push through for something that you feel strongly about. And then we have a few days of quiet in the skies, as quiet can be. Then on the 24th, Venus is ready to enter Capricorn. This is a very different iteration of Venus from where it was in Sagittarius. Venus in Capricorn is anchoring your desires and clarifying your values. Venus in Capricorn does not mess around. It is ready to take action towards what it wants. It's very goals driven, whether it has to do with finances or relationships. There is a sense of achievement here with Venus in Capricorn that has a no holds barred energy, like we'll get it done under any circumstance. And again, a great way to end the year on that note, if you are feeling financially stressed out or questioning what it is that you're doing, whether it's your business, whether it's just your career path at the moment, Venus is ending the year with this very ambitious energy saying that we can do this, we can do whatever it is that you want to do. And so from that day where Venus enters Capricorn, we have a few days of reprieve. And so we hit the 30th, where we have Mercury in Sagittarius square Saturn in Pisces. So at this time, we only have Mercury in Sagittarius. The sun has moved on. Venus and Mars have moved on as well into Capricorn. So we're having a Capricorn pileup, this kind of last moment in the month and really in our calendar year, where we may have an aha moment, a moment of clarity. Now, it may come through tension or through conflict. I hate to say it, but it is a square and it's almost like a forced thing. So perhaps there might be conflict around this time. Things may come to a head on the 30th. So be mindful of this energy on that day, because it is trying, the cosmos are trying to tell you something. They're trying to mirror something to you around being clear about something or someone. And then a couple days later, so on the very 1st of January, on New Year's Day, we have Mercury in a square with Neptune. Again, be mindful of reactivity or any sort of feelings of frustration or confusion or just like miscommunication around this time. And also, we're leading up to that full moon in Cancer. So the first may feel tense already because we're a couple days before that full moon and feeling the pull of it. A very emotionally charged full moon at that. And I will speak more on it in a couple weeks in my full moon video. So stay tuned for that. So as you move through this new moon's energy and the 2 weeks that come after, notice which beliefs are expanding and which ones are dissolving. You might want to look at where clarity meets illusion or where it clashes with illusion. You might want to think about areas of your life that, especially where Sagittarius is in your chart and the rest of the mutable signs are, where may you need to anchor your vision with practical action. And ultimately, this is really about moving forward with courage and emotional awareness. And if you want to learn a little bit more about how this new moon in Sagittarius impacts you, I have rising sign messages for you in my membership space on Patreon. And as always, you can book a transit reading with me to delve deeper into your chart to see what's being activated. As I mentioned, a lot of cycles are coming to an end as planets are ready to enter their new signs fully. We're going to have a year of brand new planetary energies, the most we've ever had. It is a big deal. If you want to learn more about all of this, be sure to follow me on Instagram or on my Patreon, where I write a little bit more and delve a bit deeper into these cosmic waves that we're riding together. I wish you a blessed solstice and blessings for the new calendar year. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks when I talk about the full moon in Cancer in the new year. Take care.